Hey everybody, the Black is back with his weekly review of Smackdown. This week I'm been sick and I'm still kind of feeling like crap, so I'm gonna kind of make this an easy and basic review. I just want to thank everyone who left comments on my video last week. That's kind of another thing I'm kind of depressed about. Is not really depressed, but not a lot of views on my video last week and not a lot of comments either, so that kind of stuff just bugs me, makes me rethink doing this, but we'll see how it goes this week. I'd like to thank people who have comments though on my videos last week, which was Mario, the John WWE, DW Squirtle, and Howard the Man. I'd also like to remind everybody that in the next couple weeks I'd like to do a Q&A, so if any of you would like to private message me some questions that you'd like to ask me, anything within reason, preferably about wrestling, but I mean, you never know. I might, if you ask me some other questions, I might be able to get it for you. And that's it. So let's jump into SmackDown. This week's SmackDown is in Indianapolis, Indiana. We start off with an in-ring promo with Booker T. This always is a great way to start off the show. Basically talking about the last year he's had, re-debuting at the Royal Rumble, and then joining commentary, then facing Cody Rhodes. And that, of course, brings Rhodes out where he reviews his year, where he's, beat Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania and won the Intercontinental title, and then a TLC beating Booker T. These guys go back and forth for a little bit, and then Dustin Rhodes, Goldust, comes out, and he basically puts Cody in his place, but Cody doesn't care because Cody is a degenerate at this point in his career. And Cody says that Dustin threw up all over the Rhodes family name because of the whole Goldust thing. Booker then makes, challenges Cody Rhodes to a match next week on SmackDown. Or no, I'm sorry, tonight on SmackDown for the Intercontinental title, and Cody says that he'll do it, but he'll do it next week. So next week we get an IC title match between Cody Rhodes and Booker T. This is going to be the rubber match, because both have won one. Go to the first match of the night, which is Ted DiBiase versus Jinder Mahal. I give it 3 out of 5 Black Rangers. Sorry. I give it 3 out of 5 Black Rangers. This was a good undercard match. I like this feud that they have going on between DiBiase and Mahal. I think they should do something else. They've had a couple good matches. Maybe they should do some tag matches, and maybe they should possibly do, I don't know. Possibly, maybe do a tag match with Ted DiBiase and Booker T versus Jinder Mahal and Cody Rhodes, because it'll also pit the former Priceless members across the ring from one another. So it was a 3 out of 5 match. It was pretty good. In the end, Jinder Mahal went in for the camel clutch and got the submission win on DiBiase. I was actually surprised that Jinder got the win here. I was more expecting DiBiase to win, but that was good that they put the heel over, and it was clean. DiBiase came off the top turnbuckle, tweaked his knee, and then Jinder Mahal capitalized and put him in the camel clutch for the win. Alright, next we go to a backstage segment with Teddy Long and Oksana. Drew McIntyre walks in and thanks Teddy for signing him back. Of course, these two have had bad blood in the past on SmackDown, but Teddy's willing to put that aside. And so Teddy then says that since Drew gets such a substantial salary, that he needs to start pulling his weight, and if he does not win his match against Ezekiel Jackson tonight, he may have to start rethinking his decision to sign him. In other words, he's gonna think about firing him. Alright, so and by the way, I'm very glad that Drew McIntyre is back on SmackDown. I'll touch on that more later, probably during the match, but I'm very glad that Drew's back. Okay, second match of the night, which is Alicia Fox and Kaitlyn versus Tamina and Natalya. I sneezed and it was over. On top of that, Tamina didn't even take the job. Natalya jobbed out to Alicia Fox again on a crappy axe kick that was... I've seen Alicia Fox wrestle, and she can wrestle. It's just the WWE's booking her in such a stupid way that I have no idea what they're doing with her. Granted, they're probably building up Alicia Fox to face Beth Phoenix, but they keep jobbing Natalya. These are crappy 4-ish minute matches, if we're lucky, and I gave it 0 out of 5 Pink Rangers because this match was crappy. It was a botched ending, and really it told no story. Alicia got a win. Wow. They're building her up. Wow. She's a former Divas champion anyway. Alright, next we go backstage with AJ and Daniel Bryan talking about what happened on Monday with Daniel Bryan and the Big Show. Show comes in and says that Giants do not need saving. And Teddy Long comes in and says that, there was supposed to be a tag team match where it was Daniel Bryan and Big Show versus Otunga and Mark Henry, but it's been changed to Big Show versus David Otunga one-on-one with Mark Henry in Otunga's corner. Third match of the night is Hunico versus Justin Gabriel. This is another good undercard match, very fast-paced. It was 2 out of 5 Yellow Rangers. In the end, Hunico hits a Swanton Bomb on Gabriel for the win. Afterwards, though, Hunico and his amigo, which I can't even remember what his name was, hit a Crime Time type finishing tag move, so I'm guessing these guys will be a tag team. So I guess Hunico is now tag teaming with this other gringo, and now Primo and Epico are now the new Cologne's 2.0 tag team, which is fine. The more tag teams, the merrier. I just hate how, it looks like Hernandez and Conan, like Conan from WCW 2.0. Okay. So next we go to the fourth match of the night, which is Big Show versus David Otunga. I gave this 2 out of 5 White Rangers. The Big Show dominates the opening moments. Otunga rolls out of the ring and gets yelled at by Mark Henry. Tells him to take care of his business or whatever. So Otunga gets back in the ring, mounts a small offensive, gets dominated again. In the end, he gets a little bit more of an offensive off, and then Big Show, Daniel Bryan jumps the guardrail, knocks, hits Mark Henry with the belt, and then lures Mark Henry to the backstage. And Big Show hits it was a WMD. He hit him with the Weapon of Mass Destruction punch for the win. So 2 out of 5. It wasn't nothing great, but it wasn't nothing terrible. You'll see the theme of tonight's SmackDown is that nothing was really great. There was some terrible stuff, so that's kind of another reason why I'm depressed, because SmackDown did not really excite me all that much. Fifth match of the night, which was Ezekiel Jackson versus a returning Drew McIntyre. This is really the only thing that I thought was great about tonight, was that Drew McIntyre came back to SmackDown, because I think that if they booked Drew McIntyre like they did back, a couple months ago, whatever you want to say, I think that Drew McIntyre will be a huge heel on SmackDown. I think you could, take Orton's place while Orton's gone on injury. Maybe not that stature, but, he could kind of, the block always calls Drew McIntyre SmackDown Orton. So, really, he could probably take Orton's place. Anyway, the fifth match is Ezekiel Jackson versus Drew McIntyre. This was actually a pretty good match, a good return for Drew McIntyre, showcasing that Drew can wrestle, obviously, but on Raw, of course, that talent gets wasted. Ezekiel Jackson sporting a new hairdo, looking less and less like Ahmed Johnson at this point. but in the end, Zeke rolled up Drew McIntyre and used the tights for the win. So Ezekiel Jackson used a heel tactic on Drew McIntyre to get the win. Of course, Drew McIntyre's freaking out because of what Teddy said earlier. Next we go backstage where Teddy and Drew McIntyre are talking, and Teddy doesn't like losers. In other words, he's got his eye on him. Player. Holla, holla, holla. Next we have an in-ring segment with Sheamus, and he's talking about the Royal Rumble. Hornswoggle comes out and he says that he's going to win the Rumble, and then after that Slater comes out and says that he's the #1 redhead on SmackDown, or in the WWE, or whatever you want to say. I don't remember exactly what he said. So that leads into the sixth match. And what happened is Sheamus then throws Heath Slater over the top rope. He was using some kind of some songs, and he was talking about being a believer, and then the Journey song. And then he talks about R. Kelly saying that Fly Away or whatever. I don't even remember the songs, and you guys can make fun of me, but I don't care. And he basically throws, I believe I can fly or whatever, and he throws him over the top rope and outside the ring. So basically representing Sheamus eliminated Heath Slater if he was in the Royal Rumble. That led into our sixth match after we come back from the break. Teddy Long made Sheamus versus Heath Slater. I gave this 3 out of 5 Alpha 5s. It wasn't a bad match, but it wasn't a good match. It's kind of basic. These two went back and forth. Slater got a little bit of offense, but Sheamus mostly dominated. In the end, Sheamus got a bro kick on Heath for Slater for the win. Not too much of a surprise there. The only complaint I have about SmackDown right now is becoming a little bit too predictable. They have some great feuds going on, like Barrett and Orton, which is now apparently canned because of Orton's injury. Well, they had Big Show and Mark Henry, but that's probably on the shelf now. I'm not sure if I'm liking Daniel Bryan versus Big Show, and I don't want Big Show to go heel. I really don't. I don't know. I just, I don't. I'm kind of looking at the future of SmackDown here in the next couple months and into Mania, and I'm like, this is not looking good. With Orton on the shelf and everything else. I heard a rumor that CM Punk is going to get drafted back to SmackDown at the end of the year, which could mean one of two things. A, yeah, they want to bring more star power to SmackDown, and that'll replace Randy Orton for a while. And B, they kind of want to kill CM Punk's hot and heavy fan support right now because CM Punk's on fire, and I think they're scared that he's going to overtake Cena, which is good for everyone else, but not good enough for WWE management. They're Super Cena. So anyway, off of my tangent, off my soapbox, back on task here. Backstage promo with Teddy, Daniel Bryan, and the Big Show, and Teddy basically sets up Show versus Bryan next week for the world title. So that's 2 title matches for next week. 7th match of the night, which is Randy Orton versus Wade Barrett. I give this 3 out of 5 Green Rangers. It was a pinfalls count anywhere match. The only really notable thing, this was an okay match. One of the things that I really enjoyed was, I think this is the first time I've ever seen people fighting in an elevator. I mean, they fought toward the back eventually, and it was kind of a basic match up until then. And then they fought to the back, and then Orton and Wade Barrett tried to escape. Wade Barrett tried to escape into an elevator, and Orton followed him, and they emptied out the elevator, and they were just fighting, and they had the elevator camera on, like they were pretending like, they were following the action in the elevator with the elevator camera in the elevator. And, I mean, in the end, what happened was Orton and Wade Barrett went into a stairwell, and all you saw was through the little skinny window what was going on. It looked like Randy Orton fell down the steps, but it was really dumb is because the cameraman was just sitting there waiting, and then waited until you saw Orton fall to go through the doors. So pretty much that Orton didn't fall down the stairs. He probably just looked like he fell, and he ran down the stairs really quick and landed at the bottom. So I'm guessing that the injury that Orton had was, I don't know. I just don't believe he fell down the stairs. So I don't know if the injury he has is 100% legitimate, or if it's just something that's been nagging him for a while, and now he just needs to take time off. So I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, so technically Wade Barrett won up to Orton on this one because he threw him down the stairs. What did I give this night as a whole? I gave this a 2 out of 5 Blue Rangers. There were a lot of low points. There was a lot of dull points in this night. I'm not liking some of the stuff that's going on SmackDown right now. Getting into, they're kind of in a transition stage right now between some, new feuds. And just, I mean, I'm not I don't like Booker T versus Cody. I don't know. If they had the one match and done, it would have been something, but now it's dragging on. And I know they're going to build to Goldust versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, but I don't know. I think they need to take the Intercontinental title off of Cody Rhodes and put it on somebody else, and then Cody can do whatever he wants with Booker T and Goldust. I don't care, but I think the IC title needs to be in a more meaningful feud. With the whole thing with Orton and Wade Barrett, that's a great feud, but that just came to a screeching halt. And I mean, right now Daniel Bryan Big Show is just kind of dumb. Mark Henry's in between right now with his little injury that he's got going on. So the only thing I really did like about tonight was A, Drew McIntyre's back on SmackDown, which is good, and B, there was a couple undercard matches that actually got some time, like Mahal and Ted DiBiase and Justin Gabriel and Hunico. Even Ezekiel Jackson, Drew McIntyre. That's mid card, undercard match. So there's a lot of undercard matches tonight. So yeah, tonight was nothing special. But one of the things I liked about tonight was that a lot of the undercarders got on TV. So I don't know. As I said, I'm not feeling that great. Don't forget to submit your questions for Q&A. I'm sorry this week I'm not doing a Booker T quote because I didn't hear anything really that. I mean, if you guys have anything, definitely put it in the comment box and I'll comment on it. And I'm not going to do a mon this week because nothing really stood out to me as a match of the night montage material. And then I'm just going to take the week off from doing it just because I'm worn out. Everyone have a great rest of 2011. Everyone have a great new year. Drive safe, drink safe, and just, have a great year. I'm Bobby Black from WrestlingRevolution.com. Check all of the links in the description box. Please comment, like, subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed.